Hi, this is Bridget from SpeechTherapyTalk.com, and this video is about my self-assessment tool. Now, this tool is free. You can access it by clicking the link at the bottom of this video or heading over to SpeechTherapyTalk.com and searching for self-assessment tool. And this tool is for speech therapists, it's for educators, it's for parents, and it's basically a tool that allows you to be more explicit in your speech therapy or whatever you're teaching. And it also starts to teach children self-awareness and take some ownership over their own learning. It teaches them to know if they're being successful. You know, what are they working on? How do they measure success? How are they doing? The first thing we're going to go over today is theory. What is the theory behind this self-assessment tool? Personally, I think theory is skipped over in a lot of these teaching materials that we find for free and that we find online. And unfortunately, I find that unfortunate because we have to know the theory of what the true purpose is of these tools to use them to their fullest potential. So what is the theory of this tool? So this tool is something very simple. It's just a piece of paper. I laminate it to save trees so I can use dry erase markers, and children decide. Right now this is the older version. I tried my best. It's just how did I do? And children have these little circles that are color coded and have words on them, and they can rate how they did. The theory behind this is kind of twofold. So I originally created this material because a few years ago, decided I needed to be more explicit with my teaching. Sometimes many speech therapists tend to be implicit, so they do speech therapy, they play a game, they work on speech, they work on WH questions, they work on grammar, they work on whatever the child's goal is, but they don't always tell the child, today we are working on this. You know, yes, we may be playing a game, but we're working on this. And this can happen a lot in schools. You might have a group where one child's working on speech, saying S. One child's working on answering WH questions. One child's working on grammar. One child's working on narrative structure. They're all in the same group because that's how schedules fell. And you're sitting down and you're reading a book, and you know, when the child answers a question, you may have them work on S. When this child answers a question, you're doing his irregular past tense verbs. When this child answers a question, he's doing who questions. You have everyone's visuals, you have everyone's cues, you're doing great. But you forgot to tell the child what they're working on. They think they're just reading. And since you're kind of cueing different things on each turn, it can be kind of confusing too. This kid's working on S, this kid's working on WH, and they don't focus their brain. They don't think, okay, I'm here, yes, to have fun. I'm here to learn. I'm actually here to work on WH questions. You know, I'm here to work on my S. We don't prime the kids to get them ready for that. And so this tool allows you to do that. And then the other part is to kind of have children start taking ownership of their learning, to start thinking, did I do good? You know, how do I know that I did good? How do I know that I'm successful? And this allows the children at the end to think about how they did in that session and how to measure success. You know, what did they learn? How did they do? And this tool helps you do that. And then also it's for children who became frustrated or becoming frustrated. You know, some children are in a year of therapy just to learn S. And it's the end of the year and they still can't say S. That's what they think because they're still in speech and they're signing up for speech next year. And that can be kind of frustrating. It'd be frustrating for me. You know, I've been working at this for a year and I'm not doing it yet. That's a bit frustrating. However, as speech therapists, they've made huge progress. You know, at the beginning of the year, they couldn't say S at all. Then we got position. Then we got S in syllables. Now we got S in words. Now this child's only working on S in sentences. You know, that's a huge, you know, they've made huge progress in just a year, and we're super excited about that. And this tool will allow you to review how much progress they're making each session, and then also to show those mini goals, you know, to show progress. And the best part of it, it takes like 30 seconds. So I'll get to that. All right, so that's kind of the theory behind it. That's why I created this tool. All right, next I'm going to go into how to use it. Okay, how to use it. Step 1, fill out the goal. So this is one of my favorite parts of this tool. Before each session, I hand each child has their own sheet. I have a dry erase marker, and I just quickly write in what's their goal. It takes 15 seconds. I say, student 1, today we're working on our S's. Now, if this student's the frustrated student, I'll be like, today, I'll just write S in there, and I'll say, we're going to do S in sentences. I mean, you're doing so great with S in words. You don't even need my help anymore. Today, we're going to do S in sentences, and I'm only going to give you a reminder. You can do it. Kind of build them up, kind of tell them how you're only doing this one cue, or you're going to do it in sentences. You got this. You've mastered everything else. We're just going to do sentences. Student A gets this. Student B, they're going to be like, okay, today we're going to do some activities, and you did so great with what questions last week? You were getting them all right. Now we're going to work on who. You're going to work on answering who questions. Remember, when I ask you a question and I say who, I want a person or an animal, kind of review it, quick teaching, their goal. This goal, this kid, you'd be like, today we're going to do something new. We're going to do irregular past tense verbs. That's kind of tricky. You can do it. And I'll help you because this is a new goal. Kind of tell them that I'm going to be cueing you, and that's okay because we're going to do something new. But what this does is each student has a visual reminder in front of them, or you can take it away, but you've told them the goal. You're being very explicit. This is what we're doing. We may be playing a game, but this is what focus your brain on. This is how we're going to measure your success later. And it's just a good reminder to get everyone prepared that yes, speech is fun. Speech is, but it's also a time that we need to learn. All right, so that's step 1, the goal. Okay, step 2. So you finished your speech therapy session. You've done, this is just the last 5 minutes of practice, and you grab these back out and you give each student their self-assessment tool. And it's just this laminated copy, and it has these little circles that are, the little Velcro stuff on them. So the student goes through the first question. Now this one says, I think I tried my best. I kind of got rid of that one. I didn't love how that was, I didn't love that question. I changed it just to how did I do? How do I think I did? And what the student can do is they can, they have these color-coded circles, and they can pick, whatever they think. I did the color-coded circles so I could use this with children who don't know how to read. I use this tool with, children as young as 3 up to high school. So it's just a good way, and you can adjust, of course, how you present it and how you talk about it, whatever the level of the child is. But it can be used for any age. That's kind of why the color coding is there. But the first question, how did I do? So you have some options. I think I did great. I need some more practice. I need a lot more practice. And what I noticed is a lot of children will actually rate themselves harder. They're harder on themselves. So when I'm giving cues or I'm helping them, they don't see that as progress. They see that as getting it wrong. So this is a nice talking piece about how, you may need help from a teacher, but I'm giving you a lot less help. Like you're getting this on your own. So that's not always explicitly taught to children. So that's why I really like this tool. Anyways, I digress. I tried my best. How did I do? So let's say a child does great. And then what I will do is I will also discuss. After they put it on, I say how they think they did. If they put great and I agree, I'll say, yes, you did great. Or I might say, you tried really hard, you did some great learning, but I think we're going to have to practice this next week. And I'll go through it. I'll stay very positive. Of course, my children know getting a yellow or a red does not mean that they did bad. It just lets us know what we need to work on. It's not bad to work on things. And if a child's really sensitive, I'll be sensitive on how I present this, and I'll be sensitive. Maybe they're just always going to get great. and then we'll talk about cues and other things down here. It just will depend on the child what color you can do. But a lot of children will put like, I think I did red. I need a lot more practice, and then you can go through while, usually I'm talking them up. Usually children think they did worse than they did, which I thought was kind of interesting. Okay, step 3, cues. Now this is, we go through how we think we did, then we go through cues. Now this is actually my favorite part because this can show children that they're making progress. So a lot of children obviously don't see the lack of cues as independence, as making progress. That's a very speech thing. For those that are new to speech, we never let a child fail. So we ask a child a question. If they can't get it, then we go through this hierarchy of cues. We start with the least amount of cues and we add more cues on top of that because we want the child to come up with the answer that they need. And through those cueing, we're making connections and we're kind of teaching them how to think. So the cues are very important. And once a child can get an answer, then we fade the cues. We want them to be able to do whatever it is we want them to do independently. So this is where I talk about cues. So this child might say, yay, I think I did it all by myself. And then I give a quick sentence like, yep, you did. You answered all those who questions by yourself. You didn't need any help. Or, you know what, we needed, let's see, be like, you know what, you did great. You answered the who questions. You just needed me to give you some choices. So next time we're going to try no choices, and I talk about cues and really what that means. We're on our last step. We're on our 4th step. And this is, I think I did. So this is a way I added this section kind of to help with behaviors. So especially when you're in a school and you have a large group, you have behaviors going on. So this is a time you can really talk about that and the child can decide, they think they did great, thumbs up, or not great. You didn't do, and you can talk about why, be like, or sometimes we do medium, and that's kind of a way, an easy way to discuss about expected behaviors. Be like, you really worked hard on your irregular past tense. You worked hard on it. You did it all by yourself, but you did need me a few times to pay attention. I had a few reminders to sit down. Whatever it is, you can talk about behaviors here. For children in private practice or children behaviors, not an issue. You can just, you did awesome. You tried really hard and you played well, you followed the rules, whatever behaviors you want to reinforce. This is just kind of a really easy way to do it. And that's it. That is my self-assessment tool. This is free. You can find it at speechtherapytalk.com/self-assessment or self-assessment.com or .html. Or just click the link below here, which might be easier. Click the link in the comments here, and you will be taken to a page at speechtherapytalk.com, and you can download a free copy. And if you don't mind, please subscribe. Wherever the button is, please hit subscribe, and you won't miss out on any future videos. All right, thanks for watching, and have a great day.